Hey there, welcome to the episode. My name is Andrew, and today we're talking about how you can make money from home by doing public speaking. Yeah, seriously. You can make some big bucks by doing public speaking. Let's get into it. So I'm sure you're probably going, wait a minute, public speaking? How do I make money by doing public speaking? Well, you can actually be able to go to different events and speak and be paid fairly handsomely. And I say this because I've done public speaking. It didn't make a whole lot my first couple times, but it was still a paid gig. Now, I do know a few people who make anywhere between $15,000, $20,000, and $30,000 per event. Yeah, you heard that. $15,000 to $30,000 to speak at a public event. No, maybe you're not going to get $30,000 for your first speaking gig, but it is entirely possible to reach a income like that for an event. How do you do this? Well, you start out small. You may do a couple public speaking events for free. Maybe you do them for maybe $50 to $100, depending on what your topic is. Host your own events, whether it's here on YouTube or on LinkedIn or on a website, in a coffee shop, anywhere. Host your own public speaking event on your preferred topic and either do it for free or for a small fee, and build up your reputation. Get known as somebody as an expert or somebody with a fair amount of knowledge in your topic. This increases your likelihood of businesses or other influencers out in your industry who will go, hey, that person seems to know quite a bit on this topic. Maybe they'll be interested in it speaking at my event we're having in a few months, and then you could be that person getting the offer of $15,000 to $30,000 to speak for an hour. Yep, I said it again. $15,000 to $30,000 for an hour. Yep, I said it. An hour. $30,000 for 1 hour of public speaking. Now, of course, going to an event and speaking and all that does take more than an hour. Technically, you're making less than $30,000 an hour, but ultimately, you might as well look at it this way. Depending on where you're at and where the event is, you've got your travel time, you've got your expenses for the travel to and from the event, a hotel room if it is something that's going to be done over a span of a couple days to a week, however long this event may be. Then you have your cost of your food while you're there. So these are all just a few things that play into what you're getting into for public speaking. For instance, my mentor, Pat Flynn, or any of the other guys here on YouTube that I know, like Dan Courier, for instance, Creator Fundamentals. He hosted the Pupil Video Conference. That was an in-person as well as a virtual conference. And everybody that spoke at those events got paid to do their presentations, whether it was a 20-minute presentation, a half an hour presentation, or an hour presentation. And the cost of the tickets to attend those events goes in, gets divvied out to the expenses, and then all of the speakers. Like Pat Flynn, for instance, he shared an experience once where he was talking about how he started out at like $30,000 and negotiated down to about $20,000 to go to a speaking event. And because it was a 3-day event, he had to travel from his house to the conference. So you had the cost of travel. It was a multi-day event. So then you had the cost of the hotel room and then the cost of food. Well, that is going to add up, because depending on how you travel, could be a bus ticket, could be your own vehicle, could be a plane ticket that costs $1,000. Then you factor in your hotel room. That could be $100 to $400 a night, depending on what hotel it is. And then you figure your food for the day. That can be anywhere from $20 to $100, depending on where you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, how often you're going to eat, and so on. But there's a nice little chunk that's got to come out already just to be able to participate in the event. Some people also will request that if they're going to speak at this event, that the cost of the actual admission for the event be compensated within their negotiations. Because if you're going to the event, maybe you want to sit in and listen to what everybody else has to say, instead of sitting up in your hotel room until it's your turn, or waiting in your hotel room until like the last 15 minutes before you're supposed to go on. Maybe you want to see the entire event, in which case you can have that negotiated in, and that's one less thing you have to pay for. Another good example, especially for the blind community, would be Molly Burke. Molly Burke started doing public speaking when she was a child and has continued ever since, representing our community in the blind and vision impaired community. Sharing what it's like to be blind from retinitis pigmentosa. Now, granted, my own personal experience for public speaking was around Native American culture, but it's still the same concept. You can be known or have knowledge in a specific topic and actually get paid to go speak somewhere. And it's not that hard. Now, if you've got a fear of public speaking, well, that's an entirely different topic. But I'm sure you can get over it, just like I have, because I'm doing these videos. This is a perfect example. I used to hate public speaking. But as you can see, I'm sitting here in front of this camera and talking to you and explaining this. No problem. This is a legitimate way for you to be able to make money from home. Whether you're going to be doing big events, small events, in person or virtual, you can be known as an expert or a person with a fair amount of knowledge on this topic and can get some good deals to speak at live events. Now, there isn't really a whole lot that you per se need to do this. How do you get into getting found? How do you get that attraction to be able to do public speaking? Well, you can do like I am right now and create YouTube videos, social media content, a blog post, write a book on a particular topic, podcast on a particular topic. These are just ideas I'm throwing out there for you to understand the different ways that you can go about marketing your knowledge, yourself, your experience to those that may be interested in having you as somebody that speaks at one of their events. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, experience, concerns, by all means, please feel free. Drop them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you found this information helpful. Don't forget to check out one of these videos over here, as one of them may interest you as well, and we'll see you in the next episode.